It is Ahnist City, and this is the section, and we go in with the character development of Tyler the Creator. As of recent, Scum Fuck Flower Boy, his recent album, was leaked, give or take a couple days ago, or roughly a week ago, and the original release date was July 21st. It came out on the internet, all 14 tracks, and the initial response was, okay, this is awesome, we get early preview, and then further on around track 7, track 11, 12, or the last half of it, it gets more and more revealed, like, wait a minute, there's this kind of specific story going on. Oh crap, Tyler is revealing some really heavy details, and more or less the story is he's coming out as gay and bisexual. Specifically in songs like Garden Shed, I Ain't Got Time, and then hints throughout the album, different people, different instrumentations, references. It comes to light that the album can be interpreted as he is talking to girls, but more or less to males, and possibly specifically one or two males in general, or a type of male. And off the cuff of it, immediately my response is thinking like, oh, he's on some Andy Kaufman levels of trolling, jokery, because it comes off as extremely sincere on the album, but then only to further realize, like, oh my god, he's left a literal trail of gay crumbs on some Eminem on the interview levels of amazingness, and it's pretty beautiful. Then the second response to me from that, the idea of Andy Kaufman to trolling, is, oh, so it feels like as if you've had that friend that's always been very vocal about like playing around and kind of dealing with issues, but you kind of never take it too seriously, and so ultimately it's like it kind of feels like it falls back on you as to the response, like I was being at that point oblivious on purpose, and it just feels as if a friend you've had for so long was being sincere in just a very obnoxious almost way. So ultimately it just now I feel like, wow, I've had this like musical friend, quote unquote, that's just been blatant, and I've just been like low key, it feels like almost disrespecting like the ideals and the hints and so forth. And then and so far now, as of recently, I've been thinking about the track 10, which is this like half cut of 911 and Mr. Lonely. And to side note it, a lot of his albums have cut off track 10s with multiple songs in it that was put up recently. And so in this version of it, it starts with this kind of R&B kind of inspired Mr. 911 song that has this very nice melody, upbeat, like how you doing, name is Lonely, and it's kind of this very cheerful silliness play off of the 911 emergency number. And then it cuts into this sort of like a chant, if you will, like I can't even lie, I've been lonely as fuck, and this epitaph of a story where the first lyrics come off as they say the loudest in the room is weak. Well, I disagree. I say the loudest in the room is probably the loneliest one in the room. And this goes back to my initial reaction where, oh, he's talking about like a specific type of person, archetype of a person, and not directing it towards himself. But now I'm thinking, oh my god, again, he is so thoughtful about it that he's putting himself on that pedestal, on the target screen of, he's talking about himself. And it makes incredible more sense, not just on like the Garden Shed song where he is coming out, or I Ain't Got Time with the Kissing White Boys and so 4 line. It's, to me now, it's that song that officially equates it, that he is accepting that he has that certain traits, certain personality things, that he is not the weakest in the room by any means, but he is lonely in his emotions and his thoughts of like who he is, what he's attracted to, what he's avoidant of, and the attention and being aware of that. And then it does get solidified in the track November, where he is aware that he is going to lose his day ones as they become day 3 and 4s because of track 7 or certain references and people involved and hints he's dropped. But to me, the critical point, what will have you, the crest of the wave in this case to me is track 10, the Mr. Lonely song, that he does wrap it up, and he is not the weakest at all, but he does feel so lonely. He only has to cope through McLarens and Teslas, and it's just a beautiful story with a beautiful sounding album in general. So much respect to Tyler, the character development of this dude from 2011 or even earlier, his early Bastard work and Odd Future Tape, to now, just basically a pioneer, if you will, of his genre, his era. This is on the C section. Tyler the Creator, character development up the way. Take care, section.